Hi, this is Sean. Welcome to Guitar Reference Guide. In today's lesson, I'm going to be taking you through the caged system for the C chord. We're going to show you how the C chord works all the way up the neck. You're going to learn all 5 of your chord shapes all the way up the neck. For each one of these chord shapes, I'm also going to show you the corresponding chord tones / arpeggios, pentatonic scales, and diatonic scales. In other words, your C major scale. How it pairs to each one of these shapes. I've prepared a PDF that will be very useful in following this lesson with, because this is going to be a very dense lesson, a lot of information in a very short period of time. This is more or less to be used as a reference with the PDF. So this will take your playing to a whole other level if you're able to play the chords all over the neck, scales, arpeggios, etc., all over the neck. It's really going to unlock a lot of great things for you when it comes to playing guitar. All right, so let's dig in. We're going to start with the chord shapes. Then I'm going to move into the arpeggios, pentatonic scales, and diatonic scales. Okay, so as you know, the cage system is what it sounds like. It's each one of these chords in the first position, how they work up the neck in sequence. So if I play a C chord, the next one will be A, C, A, G, E, and D. Now, if I go up the neck with the C chord, that would be the order. Here's my C, here's my A, here's my G, here's my E, here's my D, and here's the octave. Here's my C again. That's the octave for the first position chord. So we have the C in the first position. That's where it goes. Then the A would be the next one. So if you know your A in the first position, if I move everything up 1 fret, I move these fingers up 1 fret to the 3rd fret, and my index finger covers the open strings. That would be my A sharp or B flat. I move up 1 more. That's going to be my B chord. I move up 1 more. This is going to be my C chord. So there's the A shape, and that is a C chord. So once again, we have our C. Now we have our A. Now lots of times I'll play the A like this, or the C like this, in this shape by barring my ring finger. Anywhere you can find the C, the E, and the G, the 1, the 3, and the 5, that is going to constitute the C major chord. So if I play it here, this is a root position. If I play it from here, that'll be my second inversion, playing a C chord from the G. Here's my root, and there's second inversion again. Now I'm going to move to the next chord voicing. We have C, A, and then we have G. So if I took my G chord and I moved that up to here, that would be my C chord in the shape of a G. So there's G, G sharp, A sharp, B flat, B, and C. Now I would never play this like this, way too hard. But I may just play this. This would be my second inversion, first inversion. As long as you're playing those notes, the C, the E, and the G, you have a C chord or the root. We're going to move to the E. E, F, G, A, B, C. You can also play that like this. There's a C chord starting from the E. That would be my first inversion. There's my root, second inversion, and here will be my C chord. Now we move to the D. Move up 1. That will be a D sharp or an E flat. That will be E, F, G, A, B, and C. Once again, I would never play this chord like this, too difficult, but I'd play it like that a lot. That would work really well. The very last, so then that would be my D shape. Then the last one would be the one we started with. This would be my C octave. So if I took this chord and I refingered it, and I moved up 1 fret, that would be C sharp, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. And once again, I don't have to play the whole chord. There's a C chord. There's a C chord first inversion. very common chord. This is a great voicing. Here's my root. If I wanted to play it from here, that would be my first inversion from the E. So that basically covers my chord voicings up the neck. So now, if you work on that, if you were playing a song, you saw a C, you could play it here, 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 and play it here. So those are our chord voicings. So the next thing we're going to explore is going to be the chord tones, the pentatonic scales, and the diatonic scales for each one of those chord shapes we just went through. We're going to start with the C shape. So here we have our C chord. Now the chord tones, like I already discussed, 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. So if you follow the sequence of the intervals that make the C chord, that gives you your arpeggio, also known as your chord tones. So if I go backwards, there's my G, there's my E, there's my C, G, E, C, G, E. It's like you're outlining the chord. Works great for improvising. Those are the most important notes in the chord, the notes that make the chord. Now we're going to explore the pentatonic scale. Pentatonic scale, the intervals are going to be root, major second, major third, perfect fifth, major sixth, and then back to where we started. So we have root, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1. If I play that in sequence, it's going to sound like My Girl. Temptations. If I kept going above and below, it would sound like this. So those would be my notes if I went higher. So there's my G, there's my E, there's my D, there's my C. Here's my A, G, E, D, C, A, G, E. And then it's good to resolve back to the C. Now, if you outline that, you'll see the scale is right in there. Now we're going to go to the diatonic scale, the Ionian scale. This is the building blocks for almost everything you hear musically in Western music. You've heard this a million times. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. The notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. If I keep going, D, E, F, G. If I kept going lower, it's good to come back to the C to resolve to that point. And that would cover everything. Here's my C chord. Here's my chord tones. My pentatonic scale. And my diatonic scale. Then we move to the next shape. We're going to go to the A shape, and we're going to do the same thing here. Now we're going to outline the arpeggio / chord tones. Here's my 1, here's my 3, my 5, 1, 3, 5. Literally outlines the chord. If I went to the G one more time. Pentatonic scale. One more time. If I kept going lower, I'd have my A, my G, my C, my diatonic scale. If I stop there, that would end this shape. octave. If I kept going above, if I kept going lower, I would stop there, and that would be my Mixolydian mode starting from the G. Those would be my diatonic scales for the A shape. Move up to the G shape, and this is the classic shape, most commonly used shape. I'd almost say start here. So here we have our chord tones, we have our chord tones, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. Chord tones, arpeggio. Pentatonic scale. If you went there, that would be my A minor pentatonic scale. That's what most people learn first. But if you start from here, C major. Lastly, but not least, we have our diatonic scale. Those are the intervals. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We come up to the E shape. Chord tones. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. We have our pentatonic scale. Also go here. No, it's also in that shape. There's my pentatonic scale. 1, 2, 3, skip 4, go to 5, go to 6, skip 7. There's my 1. If I went from here, there's my 1, there's my 2, there's my 3, skip 4, 5, 6, skip 7, go to the 1. Last but not least, the diatonic scale. So a great thing to do is to play the chord and then play the scale. We have our D. Our C shape, or our C chord in the shape of a D. So if we looked at the chord tones from here and we started from the root, here's my 1, there's my 3, here's my 5, here's my 1, and here's my 3. 3, 1, no, this would be, 3, 1, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3. So that will be the shape for the D. You could also play it like this. But that connects the two shapes. Then we have our diatonic scale that's going to look like this. We skipped the pentatonic scale. Got to go to my pentatonic scale first. Pentatonic scale is going to look like this. We're going to start with the D, and then we'll go above and below. Now we go above. Now I go below. Come back to the C. And there's my pentatonic scale. Diatonic scale, I start from here. And if I go above, if I go below, that's going to give me my Dorian mode. That's starting and ending on the 2. Then we have the last but not least, our octave shape. And this is where we started. So here I have my chord tones, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. There's my 5, there's my 3. My pentatonic scale. Then I go above, come back to the C, then go below. Always coming back to the C, play the voicing. Then my diatonic scale, last but not least. Then I go below. And that'll be giving me my Phrygian mode if I started from the E. Now I go above, and then I come back to the C. That's a great way to resolve, is always come back to the root and then play the chord. So those are all of your chord, that's the cage system for the C chord all the way up the neck. There's my C, A, G, E, D, and C. And those were all the arpeggios, pentatonic scales, and diatonic scales. I'm going to be doing a whole series of videos on the remainder of the chords for both major and minor. And this is going to be my first video because the key is C, no sharps, no flats. So in the following videos, they're going to probably go a little bit quicker. It's going to be based on this one. Thank you so much for visiting me at guitarreferenceguide.com. If you'd hit the like button, that would be great. Subscribe, that would be great. If not, that's okay too. All right, have a great day and happy woodshedding.